Today we are looking at a bunch of crazy vintage guitars at Jimmy Wallace Guitars in Dallas, Texas. Once again, it is Friday, and today we are going to be taking you guys back to an excursion that we went on a few weeks ago where we went out to Dallas, Texas and checked out a bunch of awesome guitar stores. While we were there was one shop that we spent a little bit more time in than all the others, and we captured a ton of great footage, and that is Jimmy Wallace Guitars. I've known Jimmy for quite a few years now from different guitar shows all over the country, but I've never actually got to go check out his store until recently. And so we went in just expecting to get some quick footage, and Lucas, who was working there, was kind enough to walk us through some of the craziest pieces that the shop had and give us a ton of really cool info. So what you guys are about to see is some of our favorite things that we saw while we were there. So let's go check it out.
Cool stuff up here, but
This is the store stuff.
Missing the cool shit.
Right. It's only $115,000.
look at how small that neck is, dude. It's crazy.
Dude, that's crazy. That's my kind of neck.
Yeah, dude. It's a Strat player's neck for a Les Paul. Carlos Wonder.
Yeah, but the frets are in nice shape on it, so it actually feels great.
Yeah, right.
Dude, this is cool.
I know, right? Really cool checking.
I said the way this is aged is like,
I know.
this is what you want.
Exactly. 1000%.
This is what the reissues are trying to be. The way it responds when you just dig in just a little bit.
Check this neck out, dude.
That's wide too.
Dude, I know. It's crazy. That one's got a heel repair done by Glazier Shop. They did the carbon fiber treatment.
Never heard of that. So that makes sense because these are so fragile there. But
yeah.
What does that job entail?
So pretty much they will just straight up just crack here and fall forward.
Right.
So they do like these thin sheets of carbon fiber, and supposedly whenever they do that stuff, it becomes more stable than it was before.
Oh, I believe it.
This one's patina is really cool though.
Okay.
Check out the
Yeah.
this bleed off the ink from the Gibson logo, and then the back of the. It's almost it's like the grain lines, but you don't. Who knows how it got there? This is like a swampy one. I like.
Let's see that.
Yeah. That's one of my favorites that we have at the shop.
Okay.
It's really.
I like that neck because it's not crazy thick, but it's still got.
But it almost has this weird soft V thing towards the 12th in a weird way.
Oh yeah. Dude, this is sick. I love how the neck is just worn. There's no other one that's like this. After checking out that Sunburst Single Cut Junior, checked out a bunch of double cuts, which I tend to actually prefer those since a lot of them have slimmer necks. I know the first one we checked out actually had a really thick neck, which was really unique. But I love these guitars aesthetically. They're some of my favorite guitars that Gibson has ever made. And I love how the cherry has aged just a little bit different on all of them. And kind of, to me, all of them are cool, and just different ones have different vibes. I'll hopefully own one of those at some point soon, whether that is a custom shop or a proper vintage one. I really hope one enters my life, as Gibson never really reissues them through Gibson USA, at least not very often. And when they do, it's not the exact specs of the old ones, so it's probably gonna have to be a proper vintage one or a custom shop one for me, given Gibson's current and prior offerings. You have 5 double cut juniors. Yeah. This is, I think, the most that I've seen this close to each other.
Yeah, they're all cornered right
Which
here.
is the one for you?
Well,
or you can even just
super subjective.
Which is the most interesting?
Well, I think that this one's really, it's interesting how well the cherry is preserved on this.
Yeah,
because look at that. That literally looks like something that came straight out of the Gibson custom shop, but it's a real piece. And it's, man, the checking on this one.
Yeah, that's just also crazy for you.
This one has a huge neck on it. Whenever I feel like the Gibson custom shop used this for the R8s or something, because here, you'll know what I mean.
Yeah,
dang.
Yeah, that's quite the neck.
It's like a boat paddle.
When I look for juniors, this is not the neck I look for,
but exactly. But you know what I mean.
It feels great.
It's still comfortable, even though it's overly massive. But
no, I say it's still it's a comfortable bit. It's nothing crazy. What's Jimmy's workflow like for getting into stuff? Is he somebody to hold stuff for a long time, or is he get it in and sell it immediately, or like what?
So Jimmy, because he's done the Dallas International Guitar Festival for so long, the stuff kind of finds him in a way. And then it's like he will buy stuff not having a buyer immediately ready for it. Jimmy's whole deal is he'll let anybody who walks in the shop try out the 59 Les Paul.
That's wild.
You can't do that anywhere else. You can't just go in to like a place and be like, hey, can I try out the 59 Les Paul? Can I get a photo with it?
Yeah.
So Jimmy likes to have lots of great, amazing vintage examples for people to come and try out because, you know, some of the people don't understand the whole, you know, what makes vintage guitars amazing.
Yeah.
But when you play one, it's immediate.
So the highlight for me and probably most of you guys was, of course, checking out this 1959 Gibson Les Paul from Jimmy's collection. I've been fortunate enough to have been around a number of bursts in the past, but I have never got to spend this much time with a 1959 burst, and it was absolutely incredible. It's one of those guitars where just everything on it was just right. I loved kind of how the sunburst faded into that amber. Looked really, really cool. The neck profile was just right, and it was one of the most lush fretboards I've ever seen. It just, everything was right on that guitar, and there's a reason that those guitars go for the heavy six figures they do. Well, spending that kind of money on a guitar is definitely at your own discretion. I can say I do think they're a pretty good investment in the sense that the Burst is pretty much the Stradivarius of electric guitar. It's probably the most significant electric guitar ever manufactured, and I'm sure they are going to do nothing but climb in value, kind of no matter what happens to the rest of the vintage market. That guitar is just so special that I think it will continue to retain and appreciate in value, as it's just very historically significant. I'm not a financial advisor, so do with that information what you wish. The weight is, that's the first, the weight's nothing crazy on it.
No, but those resonance.
Oh my God, yeah. They got it right. They knew what they were doing.
Yeah, I know. There's a reason that there's a lot of hype behind those, and when you play one, you kind of understand it.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. That's the guitar.
And there was supposedly like 500, however many stayed completely original.
Right.
That's where a lot of this price gets factored in. And then you got dudes like Eric Clapton was the guy who started the quintessential Les Paul into the Marshall thing, and then that craze happened, and then people found out, oh wow, these 58.
It's got that smell to it.
Yeah, exactly. it's.
Did you get that on camera?
Yeah, did you
Not
get the smell?
directly. I didn't get the smell.
If only you could smell. If only you could smell with the 59.
That's the Les Paul.
It's the quintessential guitar.
I do have to take a picture with it, Thomas, legally.
Oh,
Isn't
absolutely.
the
Not
weight,
in the office.
It's not crazy.
Yeah.
You want your picture out there with it.
Yeah, of course. I just wanted to well, we got
That's, yeah. So how much do you think the case alone is worth?
You know, these cases actually go for a lot of money.
Yeah.
Something pretty.
I'll trade you.
Those sell for like $5,000 if not more.
Well, for 50,000 before.
Because
Because if you have one of these, like buying the right case for it is just gonna push you through the roof.
Yeah.
I feel weird like touching it.
I know. I'm like, I'm not worthy.
It's just like it's so incredibly resonant. It's just it's hard to describe. But there's a thing to those. You know,
Oh, absolutely.
there's
$5,000 to $10,000.
You know those.
I was like, ah, whatever.
Those Tokais.
Fresh find.
This is what
Yeah,
they were
fresh
going
find.
after.
Oh, yeah.
You kinda
We're bringing this
understand,
back.
like,
Yeah.
we're trying to.
The millimeter just cloning
That's the smell.
everything and
Confirmed.
Yeah,
See, it does.
that's what I'm saying. I wasn't crazy.
Dude.
As far as significance goes, right next to the Gibson Les Paul Burst would definitely have to be the early Sunburst Fender Stratocasters. And fortunately, we were able to check out a really cool and really early example right here.
The story behind this, per Jimmy, is that Eric Johnson was trying out a bunch of these. The one he liked the most, he bought, and this was his second favorite. Like, man.
That's rowdy. 4 digits too. Oh my God, that's early. Oh yeah, it's
Exactly.
54. That's
Yeah, this
That's as early as it gets.
This is like one of the first, which is amazing. And the original case and everything. So.
that's crazy. It's preserved this long with the original case.
And it's insane how Leo Fender made this design, and pretty much most of the details between all the years from then until now is the same. Like if you look at the bridge block the same. Saddles, the same. Pickup design, like this dude was like a genius.
Dude, you got it right.
There you go. It's
big
heavier.
neck. Big neck for a Strat.
I know.
Yeah, you know, it's kind of like the ST54 made in Japan that we get, you know, same sort of guitar.
Close enough,
this is rad. In all seriousness, this is actually, I can tell this is exactly what they modeled it after, was one that felt just like this.
Yeah.
I know they're all going to be a little different, but this feels very like in the same ballpark as the 54 reissues, whether it's ABRI or it's the Japan stuff. Like, this is what they feel like. This one, the notes just jump out of the guitar a little more, but
Yeah.
this is awesome.
So this is one of the first Jaguars to leave the factory. This would have been within the first batch. And all of that aside, this is like one of the coolest tortoise pickguards I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's super unique.
Like,
has it aged that way, or do you think factory-wise
I think it just looked like this. I mean, if you look at this one,
yeah, that's what you're used to seeing.
They're all different, and that's what's kind of cool about the tort pickguards. There is never going to be one that's like the other.
Dude, it's so thin here though. That's
like the nut width on these vintage pieces it's kind of crazy actually. This is the first Fender custom shop guitar ever.
They really meant custom when they said it.
Yeah. So this was the there's actually a documentary on the Fender custom shop starting.
Yeah.
And this guitar is in that. Oh, another cool piece. 51P bass. Pretty casual.
Yeah.
This has some like the coolest patina ever.
That's rad.
Oh man, this is like what the custom shop wants
to
do. And I don't think I've ever seen something like this replicated. All the checking that's on there, all the wear. Yeah, this would have been one of the like first Fender instruments, which is so cool. The back of the neck checking too. I just love everything about the patina on this.
The grain.
Yeah, exactly.
Every time I get a chance to play a P bass like this or a Telecaster bass like this, it always surprises me like for how highly these are coveted. It's not a very bougie instrument. This is a very like utilitarian piece.
Yeah, just bare bones. You know, that's all you need for rock and roll, right?
I love it. I think my favorite Fender piece we checked out was this candy apple red Jazzmaster with a matching headstock. This was certainly not the most expensive guitar we played here, but it had a lot of vibe. It played really, really great. And given what these are currently going for right now, this is actually an instrument I could see myself owning in the attainable future.
This is gonna be one with a silver undercoat, which is this is light too.
Cool. 65. So this is this CBS era or is this just?
This would be like the transitional period. So you'll see some with clay dots. You'll see some with the perloid.
This is probably before the transition.
But yeah, now that one's just it's really cool.
Beautiful. I mean, that board is just crazy.
It's so dark. It's perfect.
I'm a
big fan of the really dark Brazilian fretboards. Just it's beautiful looking.
The way this is aged too.
The ones that are clean, it's either they were really well kept, which is awesome.
Yeah.
But like when you love a guitar and you play it a lot, really beat up ones tend to be ones that sound really good because it had to sound that good for somebody to want to play it that much. Or at least that's one way of thinking of it. You know?
No, I have the same mentality.
So it's like, well-loved instruments. There's a thing to them, Something real cool.
I know this video was a little different than some of the other stuff we do, but this was a really, really great opportunity to look at some really cool guitars that you definitely don't get to play every day. As difficult as it is to choose, please let me know down below in the comments what your favorite guitars were from this video. I know for me, the Burst is obviously the one, but I really, really liked that first Gibson Les Paul custom we checked out, as well as obviously the Fender Jazzmaster. I mean, really everything was super, super cool. Also, if you have any crazy stories of finding your favorite vintage pieces, definitely let us know down below in the comments. We always love reading those stories, and I'm noticing also a lot of the other people that check these videos out like seeing everyone's stories, so definitely get a dialogue going in the comments. We love to see it. I know every YouTuber asks, but it really does help. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and all of that is what allows us to do these videos and to fly all over the country and actually the world now looking for the coolest guitars and even bringing a few home along the way. Also, I think this is a good time to mention that we will be at the Arlington Guitar Show on October 21st and 22nd. So if you are in the greater Dallas area or you have the means to travel there, we'd love to see you there. So looking forward to that one. We'll see you guys again soon. Bye.